How's it
Wonderful,
going?
sir.
We're good. I
Good to see you
feel like
guys.
we're like the View here, talking about these leadership teams fighting each other over liquidity. We're not competitive. We're all competitive. Whatever. Nobody really fucking cares. It's just a boring time on the timeline. We need a runner. We need a runner. We need Bitcoin back up over 100K, and
novel forms of prediction markets.
then it'll all be okay. All right, man. Well, listen, we've been infatuated with prediction markets for a while. I think we've seen a bunch of different waves of teams kind of running at it. It was sort of like, well, just going to be like Polymarket, but we're going to compete with them. And then I think we've seen the next wave was like, oh, actually, it's the long tail and or the social opportunity, and we need to look at new novel market structures here. And now I'm seeing, I think, much more novel interpretations of what prediction markets can be. So excited to jump in with you. I'm curious, what is the opportunity that you saw, and how is Fact Machine allowing you to step into that?
Yeah, for sure. So at Fact Machine, we're building opinion markets. So it's markets on the subjective, and a lot of what inspired this is that if you look at traditional prediction markets today, a lot of the markets that have a lot of PMF are either in like sports, right, very short-term markets. That's like the majority of the volume that these prediction markets do, and then in very long-dated political markets. And there's a huge opportunity cost for you to lock up capital for months or years. And retail like typically wants to know whether they've lost money within 24 hours, ideally. And so what these like traditional prediction markets try to do is they'll run markets on, how long is Brian Johnson's nighttime erection going to be? Something that no one really cares about, that does like limited volume, right?
Well, I mean, some people care about that, and not me specifically.
He's got a girlfriend now.
Maybe his new girlfriend, yeah. But our insight when we started this was that if you look at how society is trending generally, people are starting to care more about opinions than facts. And people spend a ton of time on social media arguing for or against an opinion. And with social media as well, you have these kind of algorithms that kind of entrench you within like rage bait or kind of an echo chamber. And they're not as reflective of what society or the public as a whole actually feels about a given topic. And so we built a platform, which is we're launching our alpha on the 15th, where we run markets that last 24 hours, and you get a live check into sentiment and opinion, and what the majority opinion is on a given topic. And a simple way of explaining it is we basically run a prediction market on top of a hyper gamified poll, where the public can participate in it. They can share their opinion without even risking any capital, and they can make money doing it. And so, at the start, we want to focus more on the US, get the majority of the people that are kind of sharing their opinion be from the US. And then as we scale, we can even like target different countries and isolate it to different locations. But yeah, with our platform, we can run markets on anything from like, these grand kind of evergreen debates of, is God real? Can men and women just be friends? To any kind of viral breaking news cycle that's happening, right? So like right now, there's a lot of debate around whether or not the US has violated the Geneva Convention when they attacked the boat in Venezuela and then like came back around and nuked it another time after there were survivors, so they made sure everyone was dead. And so, it can be, very kind of memeable and like communities and PvP opinions, but it could also be something broader.
I'm fascinated about the mechanism. So I think we've seen a bunch of people go after opinion markets. I think that the two mechanisms I've seen are kind of the like meme coin based ones, where there's like, a yes and no side. They're both meme coins, and you rub liquidity from the other and put it into the winning one. But it's just kind of this whale money game where, the voting and betting is the same thing. And then I think we've also seen kind of the like Keynesian beauty contest thing. That is, the votes are also just how much money is into the winning thing. So yeah, talk to me about, I guess, the problems you're solving by separating voting from betting.
Yeah, I mean, the previous attempts of this haven't scaled well. They've been pure whale games. It's like super easy to game. It's not really reflective of public opinion, honestly. It's just kind of like, can I snipe the kind of tail of this pool and like before the market ends and like capture all the liquidity? So yeah, we've kind of decoupled these two roles. So we allow people to join this app. We're using proof of personhood. We're not using WorldCoin. It's too easy to game. Everyone can sell their accounts. But we're using a new type of proof of personhood where when you sign up to this app, you get 100 points a week, and we run one market every single day, and you can select a market like, Trump gives a speech to the EU and he says, you guys are wasting a bunch of resources. Man-made climate change is a hoax. So you run a market on, is man-made climate change a hoax? And you can share your opinion, yes or no, and then you can predict what percentage of people will agree with you or how this will resolve. So I think 60% of people will agree with me, and I can wager a portion of my points on that. And the earlier I cast this vote and the more accurate this distribution prediction ends up being, the bigger the multiplier I get on my points. Then at the end of the week, top points holders can cash it out for money based on the fees we take on top of this prediction market that's kind of trying to anticipate how this poll will resolve.
Got it. And then betting is separate, where you're betting on what you think the results of this polling
Correct.
system is going to be. Okay, interesting.
Correct.
Interesting.
How are you thinking about, I guess, scaling the voting side? Because it feels like this whole system hinges on having probably thousands of people voting with diverse backgrounds.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so crypto is it's an interesting wedge for us. I think, we come from, like, my team and my co-founders, we come from crypto, but we also have people on the team that don't. And these people are more, large people from different dating apps and just legacy social. And this concept is something that appeals to everyone, right? Like, everyone has opinions. And what we're doing is, while we're running this alpha within crypto, we're also scaling our different distribution channels across different demographics. So it could be, college students, it can be middle-aged moms that are, that live for celebrity gossip and Love Island, and anyone in between. And then what's also interesting is when people onboard to this platform, we can incentivize people to share their demographic data. And all of a sudden we can capture, not only how does opinion skew more generally, but how does it skew across different demographics?
Okay, so I am very curious about how you think about the go-to-market for this. I mean, and even with a bit of a backdrop of, it feels like we've gone from this prediction markets are on nobody's radar to all of a sudden they're worth, they're raising at $11-12 billion to now there seems to be this immune response to them out in the broader, outside of the crypto Twitter world. And so I'm curious, with the playground as it is today, how do you go make progress?
Yeah. So what's interesting about this platform is that the cost to joining is pretty low. Like, you can join this platform, you can start sharing your opinions, and you could make money doing so. And if you're good at it, you could make a lot of money. At scale, you can make a full-time salary sharing your opinion here. And so my co-founder, he worked with Polymarket on the go-to-market marketing. We have some great growth people that are currently scaling different distribution channels on, like, different short-form content platforms. And we've been growing our own larger CT profiles that are anonymous, that aren't affiliated with the platform yet, but have a lot of following. And we've been using them to like rage bait and troll legacy media. I'm not going to tell you what the account is, but like, some of these, like, barons have written articles about some of these accounts, and it's all just like made up. It's all just trolling. And so we've been growing not only like a large followers within crypto, but also outside of crypto. And slowly we're going to activate them.
I'm interested in the strategies you're running outside of crypto on these short form video sites. Like, are you building separate brands? Are these just kind of trying to build huge accounts that are good at sharing videos? And ultimately, how are you thinking about pulling them into the product?
Yeah. I mean, so we have like different character accounts whose whole shtick could be, making money in like the strangest way possible. And that lends itself very well to an opinion market, like getting edge on an opinion market. Like, I don't know, I went to Williamsburg and I spoke to all the different whatever. And then now I have conviction in this side. But we also have kind of like, different types of channels that appeal to different types of people. So we have like kind of, the typical like brain rot, like brain bet style content where the platform is in and of itself a means to get to the end of a joke. But then we also have like more serious channels that we're growing. We're actually going to grow our own kind of news channel called Fact News Network, where we talk about, current events, current debates that are happening, and use our platform to give people insights into how the world's feeling about different things. And yeah, this ranges from anything from political markets to I mentioned kind of celebrity gossip and drama to sports, and these are all different types of people, and that's what you kind of see on traditional prediction markets. The person that's betting on the election is not the same person that's placing bets on Brian Johnson's nighttime direction light, right?
Wait, hold on. Like,
Or,
shots
or
fired
so
at me.
so.
I am that person. Yeah. Okay. So I'm curious about this sort of, this category of prediction markets, the sort of subcategory that you're articulating here of opinion markets, and it's not clear to me that people will get the difference at like the consumer level. If most people are still just trying to wrap their head around prediction markets, I'm curious how you sort of see carving out your own path here. It feels like this is a very like if you understand prediction markets and you understand the limitations of them and you're a user of them, then you can kind of get the different experience that you're pushing forward here. But as somebody who's maybe net new, are they going to be able to tell the difference between these two, or how do you make that distinction as clear as possible?
I think it's pretty clear. It's, these markets last for 24 hours. They're resolved by this kind of hyper gamified poll that we run. And a lot of the people initially that aren't crypto users or prediction market power users, they'll be on the platform just kind of being polled and making money.
Right, so it's like
And
the overall packaging and experience
right,
of it just feels very
right.
different. Got it.
And then once you do that, it becomes easier to transition into actually placing money on these markets. So it's a much softer introduction to prediction markets as a whole.
How are you thinking about so if this kind of early phase really works and you're having kind of wild success in 5 years, like what does this look like? Does it look more like a prediction market product or more like a social network?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, I mean, the goal for us is to get this to a scale where this platform could even be used to influence like campaign policies for politicians and be referenced on legacy media. Like 80 to 90% of airtime on national TV is just talking heads sharing their opinion. It could be expert opinions, it could be anchors. Now we have markets on it. But I think this lends itself very well to like becoming almost like a new social medium, almost like a new town square, where like legacy social has become like almost like Times Square. We wrote that in one of our articles where it's just like you're being sold constantly. But what makes a difference from Times Square is like not only is there all these like flashing billboards, but you have like actual bots kind of spamming everything. And so we actually kind of also solve for the dead internet theory on our platform, right? Like everyone's going to be a verified, unique individual.
100%. Yeah, I was tweeting about that earlier this week and just kind of played a lot with like FOMO and Vector, and I feel like those products are great, but meme coins are just the wrong primitive for kind of a financialized social network. And I feel like the semantic content that prediction markets carry with them and this new game of like being accurate instead of just engagement baiting is a really interesting opportunity. And the new kind of status games and paths to like building an audience and distribution through something like this is really interesting.
Yeah, I think meme coins also kind of a solved game at this point. Like everyone kind of knows how to play the game. Bonding curves are pretty solved. It's like everyone's playing the 1% game now. So yeah, it's like
they really are.
How are you thinking about the curated versus like permissionless market creation opportunity?
Yeah, I don't think the kind of key selling point of this platform initially is going to be permissionless market creation. We want to initially just run one market at a time, concentrate liquidity, attention, and virality on one thing at a time. And then as we scale, we'll run multiple markets concurrently across different topics. And then, down the line, that's when then it becomes more interesting. Once we kind of capture the essence of the product, then it becomes more interesting to run shorter term markets, maybe like a 15-minute market or something, or allow certain people to launch their own markets and add different features to there. But right now, that's not the focus.
Got it.
And how are you thinking about the business model opportunity here? Like, what's the North Star?
Yeah, I mean, we take fees on buys and sells. That's mainly it. But then I think there's potential partnership integrations that we can do as we scale, right? Becoming like a new type of data provider on like the pulse of the public, and these are things that will emerge in time.
There's obviously like very interesting ad placements here if you have a bunch of liquidity and attention for brands to run random campaigns
Yep.
and stuff.
I mean, at scale, it becomes like super valuable to be able to run a market on the platform.
Totally. Tell us about the trading competition you have coming up.
Yeah, so we're capping the amount of people that can join to 1,000 participants, and it's going to be paper trading. So you're not really, everyone gets a $10,000. It's all fake money, and it lasts for 2 weeks. We're doing 14 markets, and top traders have cash prizes. So the top trader will win $20,000 and a gold fact machine signet ring. We're making custom jewelry. And
They look pretty sick, I must admit.
yeah. Then we have the silver signet ring for the second place, along with the 10K, and then third place 5, and then it kind of goes down from there. But we have more details on our article that we published.
Why are you going the paper trading path instead of just opening this up to real money?
Because we want to battle test some of our infrastructure, and I think this is also like a pretty neat introduction to getting a feel for trading on these markets with a little bit more size. And so this is something that'll allow people to feel comfortable, and also just allow us to get out and test a lot of our assumptions quickly.
Interesting. So how does one get a referral code?
You got to DM me.
Let's go. Let's do this. When I see a referral code, I'm like, there's somebody I need to talk to about this.
I'm very interested in the why now, or like why hasn't something like this existed? Is it infrastructure? Is it cultural? Obviously, you're making a bet on kind of long degeneracy at a time where people are also calling for short degeneracy. So just interested in the timing piece of this and why you feel like this is a great moment for it.
Yeah. I mean, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, right. So opinion markets have been tried before. They've just been pure whale games. I think we're at a kind of an interesting time right now where the majority of the public is familiar with prediction markets, and there's a new game that people want to play. Like meme coins are relatively solved, and so we're just kind of at a point where these things are converging, and it's really a great time for us to launch opinion markets. Whereas before, there weren't as many people using prediction markets, and everyone was kind of super excited about meme coins. But now it's kind of our time.
So yeah, I guess where are you in sort of the rollout of this? Obviously, you have a beta out right now that people can kind of join if they find somehow to get a referral code. But like, yeah, what's sort of the timeline to this coming to the market in a public way?
So I mean, so we're launching alpha, and then we're getting some audits done, and then we'll roll out the public launch with a mobile app as well.
Nice.
So we should expect that early next year.
Finally, a crypto project going mobile first. Like what a concept.
We're also abstracting all the crypto away. It's like it's going to be full social login. You won't really even know that you're using crypto.
I'm curious, like how big's your team? You guys raise some money. Like where are you at in that process?
Yeah. The team's at 8 people. We've raised just over 8 million. We haven't really been public about all those things. Like I just care about PMF, right? Like, so we've just been locked in since July, and we're finally ready to actually have a public rollout soon.
Giddy up. Dope. You got anything else, Josh?
I mean, maybe last question. Like, what do you say to people who think this kind of financialization of everything is a very dystopian view of the future of humanity?
That's a good question. So it's like, I kind of, what's more nefarious? Is it like algorithms on your timeline that turn it into this like echo chamber and rage bait you and polarize society? Or is it a platform that gives you insights into what people actually believe in and becomes more like a truth engine on people's opinions? What's more valuable? What's it's a open question for you, I guess.
I buy it. I buy it for sure. I mean, even on the prediction market side, it's like, is just being forced to listen to, mass media before the truth is ultimately revealed better than the truth being incentivized to come out earlier? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It just feels very visceral when you start layering prediction markets over top of war maps and stuff. And I think it's understandable that people start going, well, hold on a second here.
Yeah, that's fair.
What's going on? Dope. All right, man. Well, excited to give the product a shot. I mean, yeah, Josh has been ranting about wanting something like this for a while, so let's see if it tickles his fancy. And then yeah, give us a heads up before it goes live so we can maybe check back in.
Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, I'd love to have you guys try it out.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks for
Good luck.
coming through.
Good.